Calvin Ridley was carted off of the field today against the Houston Texans after this play right here. The current update on this injury is that NFL insiders have come out and said that Ridley unfortunately did suffer a broken fibula, and this is of course going to end his season. Closer look at the injury replay, we see that as he is being brought down, that foot is going to get tangled up, and as it's doing this, there is a lot of external rotation force going through that ankle. As I do that on the model here, you see it is greatly trying to separate the fibula and tibia bones. If it is great enough, it can result in a fracture to either or sometimes even both, but we know in this case there is just a fracture to the fibula. No word yet on if there's any soft tissue involvement, but as somebody is going through this rotational mechanism, you risk potential damage to the high ankle ligaments, so the anterior inferior tibiofibular ligament, as well as the posterior inferior tibiofibular ligament, and also the deltoid ligament, which is located medially, because as somebody is getting external rotation, they are also going to be getting some eversion, which is going to stress that structure on the inside of the ankle. For cases like this, either the bone is going to need surgery to stabilize it, or it is one of those non-displaced fractures where surgery is not going to be necessary. The rehab for this injury is going to go in several phases because bone is going to take generally 6 weeks to heal. So initially there is going to be none or limited weight bearing to protect the bone. We're also doing interventions for swelling control as well as very gentle mobility. Usually at about the 6-week mark, this is when we're going to transition the person out of the walking boot and progress them towards weight bearing as tolerated without any assistance. This is when we can actually start building strength, not just for the calf, but for ankle and hip stability, as well as making sure that the person is walking with the correct mechanics. The 10 to 14 week mark is crucial because this is when we're going to reintroduce jogging and making sure that they are running correctly. This is also going to include straight line sprinting and deceleration drills, as well as plyometrics. From 14 weeks on, this is when we are introducing cutting and agility drills and that sport-specific movement. Full football-related activities can be reached anywhere from about 4 to 6 months post-injury, as long as everything goes well with the previous phases. But we'll await any further information on whether or not Ridley is going to need surgery and or if there's any soft tissue involvement, because this can also greatly influence the timeline.